Welcome back, beautiful viewers. We are continuing from where we left the other time. We are working on this project. We are using programming language like PHP, CSS, JavaScript, and so on and so forth to design this simple but beautiful database. We've started with it. If this is the first time that you are watching a video from the channel, then you need to go back and look for those videos that I've made on PHP. There is a playlist known as PHP and MySql on the channel. You just look for that playlist and watch all those videos that I've made under that for better understanding. Okay, so in the previous video I said we're designing something like this, where we'll be having the product table being populated on this particular form, and the categories and other things. So in the part 1 we started designing how to populate this table. We are done with it. So now we're moving on to a drop down list for the category. So we're going to use a query, okay, SQL query, to do something like this. Without wasting much time, let's see what we can do. So we need to open our directory folder, and as I said in the other video, you need to go to your local disk, then you go to XAMPP, then you look for htdocs, you open it. So the directory folder that we are working on or we are using is the test_l engine. In the other video I showed you how to do all this, so if you have not watched that, go back to the channel and look for that or those videos and watch them. Now we open it, and inside that folder or inside our directory folder, these are the two PHP files that we have created. Okay, so currently we are working on the stock_in.php. So for you to open it, you select it and you right click on that and you open with the text editor that you are using. For me, I'm using Notepad++. Okay, so this is what you can use to do your coding. So edit with Notepad++, you open it and to take you to where your code is. So this is where we go to in the other video. We just wrote a simple query language which will perform a task like this. Okay, so when we are done, it will populate all the products from our product table. So this little code that you see here, that's what it will be doing. So we are done with that. Let's move on to the one that it will drop down the category from the category table. Okay, so let's see what we can do. Now we need to define our variable where the results will be stored in when the query is being run. Okay, and one thing that you need to bear in mind in programming, if you are defining your variables, you need to give a name to depict what the variable will be doing. Okay, so you should give a name. It's not compulsory, but it's in a way of conventional. It makes readability very easier. So if somebody see your variable name, it knows that maybe this variable is trying to do something like this. Okay, so in PHP, to define a variable, we start with the $, as we know. So here the the variable name is going to be categories underscore results, meaning the results of the query will be stored in this. Then we need to assign a value to it. Okay, we need to assign a value to that. So it's going to be, now here you're going to use the method in SQL objects or data connection objects, which is going to be con, then this arrow sign, then the query. So the method we are going to query that. Now what are you going to query from the database? So when I say that it should return, or I'm coming, oops, it should return. So we're going to select all the columns. So we are going to use a keyword, SQL keyword, select, then all is this asterisk. Okay, so meaning this asterisk means we should select all the columns from the which table, from the category table. Okay, so that asterisk means that you should select all the columns from the categories table in our database. Now when it selects all the columns, it should order the results, it should arrange it in order form. Okay, so you're going to use order keyword in the SQL. You should order it by the categories name. Okay, by the categories name, by the categories underscore name. Okay, so the column in the categories table that stores the name of the categories, or categories underscore name. Okay, later when you are creating the table for the category, you know what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we have something like this. So it's going to query, or it's going to run all this simple query on our database. Okay, so we're saying that this variable is going to hold the results that will be pulled out by this database connection objects, which is the query language. Is going to select all the columns. So this asterisk means it should select all the columns from the categories table. Now when the result is being fetched, it should order it, or it should arrange it in alphabetical order by what? By the names in that column. Okay, so the names in that column. So we have something like this. Here it has arranged it in alphabetical order by the names of the categories in the categories table. Okay, so we should put out all the columns. Okay, so we should select all the columns from the categories table and arrange it alphabetically by the names of the categories in that table. Okay, so that's the meaning. Select by this asterisk means you select all the columns. So all the columns in that table, and which table are you referring to? The categories table. Okay, and that result will be stored in this variable, because I said in programming, variable are containers for holding data. Okay, it is used to store data. So this is what it's going to do. It's going to store this information that is going to be pulled out by this database connection object in MySqL database. It's going to pull it from our database, or it's going to run this on our server or on the MySqL server, and the result that it will get, it will be stored in this particular variable. That's the meaning, or that's what we've done over here. Okay, so write it as it is. Now in the upcoming video, I'll be teaching you how to create a table in PHP admin. Okay, so that later this query will be run on the server and it will pull out all the data in the categories table. Okay, we just write this simple query. What it means is that we are going to run this query on the server, and the running of the query means we should select all the columns from the categories table, and the result should be ordered by the categories name in alphabetical order. So this is how it's going to be. Okay, it's going to be like this. You see that the categories has been pulled out, okay, by that query. It has been arranged in alphabetical order. So at the end of what we are doing, at the end of the day, we should be getting something like this. Okay, we should be having something like this. This is what we are trying to achieve. Okay, so this is the beginning of what we are doing. Don't skip anything that I will upload on the channel. Okay, watch to the end so that you understand how to write PHP code and other programming language. And I'll be giving explanation on certain terminologies that you've never come across, or even if you have come across and you don't understand, I'll be giving explanation on them. Okay, so take note of them and use it in your project. So as I said, categories, always you should choose a name that depicts what the variable will be doing. So here you can see that the variable name is what categories results. We want to pull out all the categories from the product from the categories table and store it in this variable. So it means, or this name is trying to depict what it is doing, okay, or what it will be doing. Thank you very much for being with me. If you don't understand anything, if you don't get anything, if you want me to throw more light on certain things, leave them in the comment section. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, I will urge you to subscribe to my channel and share my videos too with your friends. In the upcoming video, we'll be using structured query language to create a table, okay, or to create a category table in our database. So SQL means structured query language. It's a standard language for manipulating data in a database. Okay, thank you very much and see you soon.